Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of all the coaster news you missed in April 2026. I'll quickly cover all the headlines I deemed relevant from this month in order from smallest to biggest news. Let me know if I missed anything and what you're most excited about. This has been a crazy month in the coaster world and there's a lot to cover, so let's dive in. First off, one headline I missed from last month, big shout out to Pinfari Paul for letting me know, is that the classic Woody Rampage at Alabama's Adventure is finally set to reopen this summer after a lot of ongoing maintenance and an uncertain future. While there's nothing official confirmed, there are many people who have sources telling them the plan is to open this summer. Now, still at Great Adventure, they've done something awesome this year, and the Safari Off-Road Adventure is returning to inside of Great Adventure. No, they're not moving all of the animals back into the park or whatever, but now you don't have to leave the park if you want to do the Safari Off-Road Adventure. If you go over near the entrance of Runaway Mine Train and Medusa, you can hop aboard what they say is a rugged, open-air safari vehicle and head out on a guided wildlife expedition. So that's a super cool thing. You can now be led out on your wildlife expedition from within the park, and it's included in the fee of park admission, which is awesome. Apparently they have 1,200 different animals from 6 different continents. Maybe this is nothing new for all of you over at Great Adventure, but for me, I've never been to a theme park that has a safari integrated with it, so that's pretty sweet. Six Flags Great America will have its 50th anniversary this year, and they're having a big celebration for it from June 20th to August 9th. There are a lot of things, but the coolest thing is they're going to have a drone show every single night during those dates. Another thing is you can actually go to a certain link on the website and purchase a brick with whatever text you want on it or whatever design you want on it and put it in Great America's new footpath they're building. Some theming news down at Six Flags Fiesta Texas is that Chupacabra, one of the many Batman clones, the B&M inverted rides, is getting some theming enhancements. And this just goes to show more than anything the dedication that Six Flags Fiesta Texas has to enhancing theming with their remaining budget. We saw this with Poltergeist. It's been there for 30 years already almost, and they completely repainted it and turned the queue into a haunted house. Now it looks like they're going to make Chupacabra have more of a Mexican theme around the legend of the Chupacabra in the queue, which is awesome. In order to celebrate its 25th anniversary, Kennywood has decided to give some upgrades to Phantom's Revenge, which is just the iconic steel coaster in Pennsylvania. And those upgrades aren't roller coaster upgrades, but they are giving it some new signage. They're replacing the load side decking. They have new automatic gates, which the Phantom personally controls, and they've upgraded the fencing. So no coaster changes, but a lot of environment and surrounding changes to make it feel like a more new experience. Lake Winnie over in Georgia is getting a new roller coaster, and it is called Lookout Safari. It's a family-friendly roller coaster, and it's coming out this 2026 season. This is actually a model that was relocated from the Indianapolis Zoo, which was torn down in 2025. Not the zoo, but the roller coaster for zoo expansion. And I think it looks like a fun ride. It's a safari-themed Jeep experience, and it's a family-friendly roller coaster for parents and kids to ride together. So hopefully it's a good stepping stone between the more kiddie rides and their bigger Cannonball wooden ride. So an exciting thing for a smaller park over in Georgia. Now down over to Disney's Magic Kingdom in Florida. After a long wait, over a year long of renovations, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is finally set to open again, and it's coming out on May 3rd is the opening day that they've announced. So that should be fun because I know that's a classic that people love, so good for them. Six Flags Magic Mountain was hit with a $533 million value drop this month in Six Flags reassessment of all of the assets in their portfolio. Is this a really significant thing? I don't think so. I think it's just that the company's accountants are trying to reassess the value of other parks to set their books even and build on a more sure foundation. Overall, the company, Six Flags itself, hit a $1.5 billion value drop, and this isn't someone else assessing them, this is them assessing themselves. So hopefully it makes it easier for them to build up more stably from here. Just a heads up before the next one, I plan on making one of these videos every month covering all the coaster news, so if you are enjoying this and want to see the next one, it would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed. That would also help me keep making these videos and keep you in the loop for coaster news, rankings, park improvements, footage, and everything else coaster. Thank you. A little bit of Inception for you because this is news about news, but both Tormenta Rampaging Run and RMC, the ride manufacturer, were featured on ABC News in a morning special. I think the most notable quote was that RMC said that if you want to be in the NFL, it's actually easier to get into the NFL than to become a roller coaster designer by the percentages. And also, Tormenta is a $300 million investment, which they said is quite a chunk of change.
But if you want to become a roller coaster engineer, you've got a better chance of making the NFL than you do becoming a roller coaster designer.
A little bit of fun news for you is a bunch of kids' dreams were shattered over at Tokyo Disney when animatronic Rapunzel completely got destroyed by a bunch of crows that wanted to eat her hair. As Six Flags has made the shift back to having local park presidents, showing the need for regional direction and being unique according to your area, we see the first proof of that over at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Because the entrance used to have, if you look at the pictures I have here, in the entrance it used to say Six Flags Magic Mountain right upon the fountains when you enter the park, and now it says just Magic Mountain. And I think they're trying to give their parks a unique individual identity, which I think is cool. I think why not turn it into Magic Mountain, and just like you have Kings Island, Cedar Point, I think it would be a good idea to have each park have their own unique identity. For the first time ever, Cedar Point has ticket prices exceeding $100. Is it inflation? Management trying to swindle you? Or is it just a sign of the park's increasing value and premium experience? You decide. Inside the Magic blog has solved a riddle that says that Magic Kingdom in Disneyland is looking like in August it could start closing at 6 p.m. for regular guests to make time for an after-hours event, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. So if you're planning any trips after then, just be ready to go home at 6 p.m. Over at Knott's Berry Farm in Southern California, construction continues on Montezuma Forbidden Fortress, and it's still supposed to open this summer, so let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm really excited to see how this all comes together, and it's about time this classic reopens after years of delays. And with what sounds like the world's first randomized launch sequence, this is going to be a goodie. Tempesto at Busch Gardens opened this season without comfort colors. Sounds like a way more comfy ride. I don't mind too much, but I know comfort colors are really annoying for some people, so good for them, they can enjoy this launch coaster in a more comfortable way. Celebrating the 50th birthday of the Classic Revolution, Six Flags has decided to change its name back to the original name that the ride had in 1976, which is the Great American Revolution. Honestly, it looks pretty good. Now over at Great Adventure, where there's a lot going on, El Toro has gotten some off-season retracking work. I've unfortunately never ridden this ride, but I heard that while it's awesome, it's been getting a lot rougher, so I'm super happy to hear that Great Adventure is investing in its future. Over at Cedar Point, they're making plans to remove a beloved ride near Gemini. Now, this is the Monster Spinning Flat Ride, which is a pretty unique one. They have a clone of it at Kings Island, so don't worry, you can still ride it, not too far away. But people have speculated that since this is the second ride recently they have removed from within that area next to Gemini, are they planning on tearing down Gemini and making a super big record-breaking coaster in Gemini's plot of land? I don't think so, at least not for the next few years, because it seems like they're pretty invested in Gemini as a local classic. But yeah, Monster's coming down. What does that mean for the coaster world and the future of Cedar Point? I don't know. Over at Universal Studios in Orlando, while they have announced they're going to build the new Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift coaster, they've also announced they're going to close down Fast and Furious Supercharged, which, although it has a super highly themed queue and entrance and everything, once you get on the ride, it's kind of like you just get in a bus and slowly drive past some screens that have movie scenes. So I've heard from guests that have been there, it feels like a pretty cheap alternative to all the other rides at the park. So I think people are going to be happy that it's gone and replaced with an awesome roller coaster. Some more good news over at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio is that Invertigo, one of the world's few remaining inverted boomerang coasters, is set to open this summer. We don't have the official announced details, but we know that it was down for a long time last year because of maintenance issues, so it's good to see that this is reopening. We hope we don't lose this one. I don't know how popular it is with the locals, but I think inverted boomerangs are an iconic rides and they're just going away too fast, so I hope this sticks around forever. The Muppets coaster, which is really just the rethemed experience of the rock and roller coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios, has officially gotten its opening date, and that is May 26th. In addition to that, we've gotten 5 of the songs that you're going to listen to while you ride through the roller coaster. Originally, with the rock and roller coaster, you would only listen to one song, but now the song will be different every ride, so it's kind of a newer experience. These 5 songs are, and these are songs by the Muppets House Band. This is Song 2, Born to be Wild, Love Roller Coaster, Rock Rock Till You Drop, and Walking on Sunshine. So that should be fun. I know people are it's a bittersweet thing getting a retheme of the rock and roller coaster, but it looks like it'll still be a fun experience nonetheless. Up at Canada's Wonderland, we have some exciting news. Their Vekoma SLC flight deck, which I understand is a pretty rough ride, is being rethemed as the Daredeviler. This is mostly a theming and storytelling difference, but they also are making some targeted track refinements, making the track a lot smoother to ride, and they're also giving you new trains with vest-style restraints, so it's hopefully a lot more comfortable and visible. So it'll be fun that they're keeping this alive and trying to make it more comfortable, because these models, the Vekoma SLCs, are what I hear the most hated models in the world. I've only been on one of them, but it's cool that they're putting work into making this a more rideable and enjoyable experience, truer to the original theme when it was originally called Top Gun. Over at Kings Island, one of the most iconic coasters ever, the Beast, is going to open after some off-season retracking work on the entire top section of the second lift hill. I love the work they're putting in to keep this classic alive. Another piece of news at Kings Island is that the Phantom Theater is now opened. This dark ride revives the classic ride that operated in the park until its closure in 2002. Now, this is now called the Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare, and I've heard pretty good things about it. Over at Six Flags Great America now, Whizzer, the iconic Schwarzkopf speed racer, has gotten some retrack work done, and overall this should be a comforting thing to guests who are worried they'll remove it, since a little investment in it means they're at least going to keep it here for a few more years. Canada's Wonderland is doing some mysterious construction around the site of their demolished Time Warp coaster that has people wondering, are they preparing the plot for their next record-breaking coaster? A lot of people speculate that they'll finally get an RMC hybrid coaster, but only time will tell. Codaland is taking good shape. Tons of new rides have been added to their website, and the foundation for almost all of the rides have been set. Palindrome and Circuit Breaker were already complete, but some more rides are done or basically finished, and those are Star Flyer, the Pirate Ship, Soggy Logger, Cosmic Glider, and Texas Wildcat. Looks like it's going to be a fun park. Fast and Furious in Orlando is coming up quick. It just had its first supports and first pieces of track installed. Woohoo! Alright, over at Six Flags Great America, they are making some great headway on their new Kid Town, which was very needed. They've been dropping tons of teasers through signs, and based on these signs, it looks like they're planning on building a state-of-the-art free play area designed as a great outdoors with maybe some kind of like treehouse structures and bridges, like the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail at California Adventure in California. This looks to be a similar shift to what Magic Mountain is doing, pushing for a more exploratory free play environment for kids rather than just a ton of rides. At Six Flags Magic Mountain, they have been moving quick to complete their new for 2026 Looney Tunes Land, which replaced Bugs Land. The kiddie coaster, Speedy Gonzales Hot Rod Racers, has already been torn down, and a lot of the kids area is behind fences, though the area belonging to Tasmania has been opened up, and so has Roadrunner Cove. I wouldn't be surprised if all areas were open again by my next news video next month, and just be pending signage, theming, and some last rides. Overall though, this looks to focus heavily on more interactive fun for kids, like free play and exploration, than just having lots of rides in one area. Six Flags as a whole has an exciting announcement for families watching a budget. With the limited time pre-K pass, kids 5 and younger can get a free pass for unlimited entry to all Six Flags parks in North America if parents buy the pass before May 31st. Sounds kind of like my idea to let people in 65 or older for free, just kind of the opposite. Rocky Mountain Construction in Idaho has finally installed some of their test or prototype track for their Wild Moose model, designed to be like a kid's version of the RMC hybrid, inspired by the pre-lift section on their hybrids. Hopefully this test track will get some buyers, because I think these models would be a great addition to some parks. Big surprise this month out of nowhere, Valley Fair just announced a huge water park expansion called Superior Shores. It will feature Lighthouse Landing, which is a multi-slide tower, and Minnow Bay, a kids lagoon with 8 small slides. This will all open on Saturday, May 23rd. Some scary news in Spain is the cable on one of those slingshot rides snapped at a fair with people on the ride. Luckily no one was seriously hurt, although 4 people did suffer minor injuries. Stay safe out there. Late in April, the votes were counted for the USA Today Top 10 Best in the theme park and roller coaster categories. I'm not going to go into what all the top 10 were, but the number 1 roller coaster voted was Phoenix at Knoebels yet again, and the number 1 theme park was Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. So I'm going to leave a link if you want to go and read all the rest of them, but those are the top ones. Over at Universal Studios in Hollywood, we've got some exciting news because Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, which is their first major coaster in really a long time, is been testing with real people on it. So you can see the test track with the cars launching down and the cars rotating and everything. It looks really awesome. They've also debuted the official cars they'll be using as trains. It looks like it'll be a really fun ride. I'll have to ride it to see it, but I've actually never been to Universal Studios, even though I live just a little ways away from there. but it looks like a good reason to stop by. Now, some interesting news in Maryland is that Kevin Durant and his investment group have purchased Six Flags America, which was permanently closed about 5 months ago. So now that they have the land, sources say they want to turn it into a year-round entertainment hub, doing some sporting entertainment and lots of other things. In the interview, it sounded like they were thinking of keeping that outdoor entertainment alive. Does that mean they're going to keep a roller coaster or two? I don't know. It's too soon to tell, and I wouldn't bet on it, but it would be pretty sweet if they kept some roller coasters there for all those who never got a chance to ride them. Now we have a super sneaky, massive hint at Great America's next roller coaster. Someone used a telephoto lens to capture the label on a shipping crate on the property, and it was from Vekoma, and the description said SFC Phoenix, which means a suspended family coaster, specifically the Phoenix model. These have gotten really popular recently, so we'll see where and when this pops up in Great America in 2027. Speaking of hints that family thrill coasters, Waldameer in Pennsylvania also looks like it's receiving parts for a Vekoma roller coaster as well, so they're probably getting a family thrill coaster there too. Good for them and good for Vekoma. Now, in the biggest and bestest news of the month, Six Flags and Knott's Berry Farm have showed their unity by announcing a construction of a super monorail that goes between Knott's Berry Farm and Six Flags Magic Mountain for guests that want to ride rides at both of the parks in the same day. Just kidding. There's your fake headline of the month. An exciting rumor shared on Screamscape, which I trust is grounded in some truth, is that one of the Six Flags parks is set to get an S&S Axis coaster in 2027. But which one? We don't know. I actually wouldn't be surprised if my Vekoma Family Thrill coaster prediction for Fiesta Texas was wrong and their Werewolf coaster was actually an Axis coaster instead. Anyway, word is that Six Flags is waiting for the prototype of this model, the Transformers coaster, to open in Saudi Arabia to see how it turns out before they commit to their 2027 or 2028 plans. Sad news in New York is that rumors have been growing pretty fast that Niagara Amusement Park is officially closing. Nothing official has been announced, but it doesn't help that you still can't purchase any passes on their website, and there has been no marketing for opening day. I think we'll have a better idea by next month's video what the fate of this park will be. So we have some exciting new hints for the mystery coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Based on past hints, I'm guessing this will be a very heavily themed Vekoma Family Thrill launch coaster where you're navigating through some kind of dark forest looking for monsters. Fiesta Texas has a special event on the evening of May 30th, which is the day of a blue moon. Since every announcement comes out on full moons, I think that is a day that we'll get the official announcement for or a really big hint for the coaster. Our next hint is in the name of the coaster. Six Flags just recently filed for a trademark for the name of Werewolf Gorge, which fits the description of all the hints we've been getting. I think whatever this is, it's going to be awesome. Even though it will probably be only 100 feet tall, I think it will be a record-breaking of its kind coaster in length and focus on low-to-the-ground movements through heavy scenery and dark patches. Exciting things happening. In probably the most exciting news from this month, Quantum Accelerator has officially opened on April 17th at Six Flags New England. This is super exciting because this park, while it's a super great park, hasn't gotten a new roller coaster I think in 11 years. And it's been 20 or 30 years since they've gotten a new, not clone, from the ground up new build coaster. I know that's a lot of words, but it's been a long time since they've gotten something original like this. And Quantum Accelerator is a multi-launch coaster. It's a family thrill coaster, so I think adults and kids can both get on it and have a great time. It looks like it's been received really well by the public, especially since it was already delayed by a year. People are just anxious to get on this thing, and I'm happy for the park. And the big winner of this month is Six Flags Great Adventure. They have been plowing along with awesome progress on the Shoreline Pier area. All the groundwork is already laid for their flat rides, which should be done soon. And their new spinning Wild Mouse coaster, Barrels of Fun, is already complete. I feel like they didn't even have any of the track laid at the beginning of the month, so that's super crazy timing. Even more, they've been making awesome progress on what people call Phantom Spire or Project Purple, a record-breaking launched extreme spinner. You can see they've already installed the track for the zero-G stall and upside-down launch and have the beginning of the tower already constructed. This will be a record-breaking one-of-a-kind coaster, so I'm super stoked that it's coming along so quickly because there's still a lot of work to do. Alrighty, in some of the biggest news of the month, Six Flags is going back to the park presidents model that they had a few years ago and are bringing back park presidents to 10 parks. That's right, 10 parks, not 16 parks. This gives us some major foreshadowing for the Six Flags brand in their future. I'll get into who each park president and what this means for the parks not included in this list. Parks and their presidents will be: at Carowinds, Bridget Bywater, who was previously the manager at Kings Dominion; at Cedar Point, Colleen Brady; at Six Flags Over Texas, Peter Carmichael, who is a regional manager and president of Six Flags New England; at Kings Island, Tony Caravellano; at Great Adventure, Mike Fennell; at Knott's Berry Farm, Rafi Caprillan; at Great Adventure, John Krajnak; at Canada's Wonderland, Christopher Mortensen; at Six Flags Magic Mountain, Brian Oerding; and at Six Flags Over Georgia, Richard Pretlow. So we've got a major shakeup, and you've probably noticed some names are missing. Some of the big parks not included in this list are Dorney Park, Frontier City, Kings Dominion, Discovery Kingdom, and Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I think the most surprising ones here are Kings Dominion and Fiesta Texas. Does that mean Six Flags is really going to sell these parks? I actually didn't think so, but I do now. I think that Six Flags is trying to balance their accounts and just hit a hard reset. And unfortunately, these are the parks that no matter how awesome they are, they just seem to mean more to Six Flags sold than owned. I'm as surprised as you are. I went to Fiesta Texas this year and it was amazing. The good news is that these parks could get even more attention from the new buyers. In Fiesta Texas's case, I've heard rumbles that Herschend was looking to buy it, and I would trust this park in their hands. You may have also noticed that Jeffrey Siebert wasn't on the list of managers. He posted recently that he decided to spend some time with his family in San Antonio and step aside from the amusement scene for a little while. My guess is that Six Flags approached him and mentioned that they were going to sell Fiesta Texas and offered for him to be the president of Over Texas, because he managed both of them at the time. And he decided he didn't want to relocate 4.5 hours away to Dallas because he has kids and parents and roots in San Antonio. I wish him well. I got to meet him briefly on my trip to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and it didn't take long to realize how special he was for that park and just what a great guy he was overall. Who knows? Maybe whoever buys the park will put him back in charge of it. Anyone smart would do that anyway. What about the other parks? Who could buy those? Well, Herschend has been growing a lot, so I could see them taking over Kings Dominion or something. But we'll come back to this by giving our monthly update on Enchanted. Last month, Enchanted Parks bought 7 Six Flags parks. Your Six Flags passes still work this year, but Enchanted has been moving fast. They already have their website up, they've started working on branding and marketing, and they also have launched a season pass that will let you into all of their 8 parks for only $65. In an interview about Enchanted's future, CEO James Harkey said one of the missions is affordability, targeting lower food prices too. He also mentioned in his interview on IAPA that they probably have the opportunity to acquire 5 to 7 parks in the next few years. That's a crazy number to throw out there. So back to the question, who will buy some Six Flags parks not getting park presidents? You can bet Enchanted Parks will be at least fighting for a few of them. And that is a wrap on our coaster news for this month. This is a new monthly series, so if you have any feedback on improvements for these videos each month, let me know in the comments. And if you want to support the channel and stay in the loop, do the coaster world a favor and like and subscribe. Parks are opening around the nation this month. I hope your next visit to one of them is epic. Jimmy out.